Hello and welcome in. We are back in the Sims 4 and we are back in Myshuno. It has been a while since we have been here, and we are actually back in the fashion district. We are working on 131021 Chic Street, which we have actually done all three of these now apartments here. And when I was looking at doing this one, I noticed that one of the others had a noisy neighbour trait, and I thought, let's make this one the noisy neighbour. So we have the best friend's apartment. We also have the slick bachelor pad, I've got a feeling that's what it was called, in there as well. And so yeah, I thought, let's make this one really fun, really bright, really loud and colourful, and yeah, so that's what we're doing in here. We're kind of actually doing a little bit more of a pastel-y kind of vibe for this, but actually I really like it in here. So we're doing this really for a single female sim and their cat, which you'll sort of see bits and pieces for those later on. And then I forget to put food in. I have done that subsequently, I think after the screenshots, or it might have been just before the screenshots, I can't remember, but off camera anyway. So yeah, I figured let's do another apartment. We've not done one for a while. I think the last one was like October last year, which feels like yesterday, but actually it was a very long time ago when you look at things into here. So if it is colourful, if it is bright, if it is kind of a little bit more pastel-y, it is definitely going in here. I didn't really have a colour theme in mind other than maybe like pinks and like turquoises and stuff. I do come through and change like this bookshelf and stuff because it's a little bit orangey and it's a little bit too bright for kind of this sort of pastel-y kind of apartment. Now I do apologise for the lighting. That seems to be something from the new from the new update, so it's just a little bit of a bug. I had a look. It's not the roof that's been deleted. It seems to be like the walls, but the walls are still there, but they just don't kind of work. I don't know. I cut it out there, but I took all of the windows off, and it just still didn't make any difference. I took all of the doors and I just sort of locked down the rooms, so they should be like completely black. No. So I don't know what the issue is. I just hope that it's a bug and that it will be fixed at some point, and maybe it won't transfer when you download this from the gallery. I don't really know though, so yeah, just keep an eye out for that. But hey, bright sunshine makes it just even more colourful and bright into there. I love these new lights. Well, they're not new actually. I think they're from the home decorator kit, but or pack. But I've never really used them. I think maybe once or twice when it first came out, but not since. So I was like, let's go for it. Really funky kind of lighting in here, and I thought, why not? Into there. Now you can see here we have this little cat corner here. We have the cat tree and the litter box. The litter box doesn't actually stay here. That actually jumps into the bathroom later on. But for now, we're gonna kind of place it right next to the front door. A little bit stinky, but you know, it's one of those things. It does get moved into the bathroom eventually. Getting in more shelving. I feel like these walls are so high that it just feels like you need stuff on the walls. So there are lots of shelving units, there are lots of hanging plants, there are lots of things covering the wall up, which I actually think is really nice into there. Now we're going to jump over into the living, dining and kitchen area. Now I thought this room looked quite big at this point when it's empty. Oh boy, yeah. Just wait until we get the furniture in, and then we'll see just how small this actually is. I did have to kind of smoosh a few things together to kind of get it to work in here, but I really wanted to use these modular kind of pieces. Now I thought there was a TV stand that looked like this, but with like two cupboard doors on it instead of a drawer, but I couldn't find it, so I just kind of had to make my own. And there is a really nice sort of TV stand in there, and then glass coffee table, lots of high school, lots of the pastel pop kit, lots of just lots of sort of different kits in very bright kind of colours. And that's one thing I actually quite liked about the kits, is that they were so different that like we could have these really bright kind of colours coming through into here. I do change the sofas and the armchair and stuff. That yellow, again, it doesn't kind of really mesh with the whole pink kind of vibe that we're going for in here. I did think about those, and then I thought, we have got these new paintings. I wanted 2 of them, but unfortunately they're just like recolours that don't actually like change pattern. So I think we go down to 1 in the end, which is a tad annoying, but I mean they're free, so can I really complain? This is me, so yes I can. I would have kind of liked like it coming in a different angle, so like mirrored maybe, but hey, that's just me into there. Realising I wanted some shelving underneath them just to add some things in front, realising that plant does not fit, and so back to the drawing board. You will find there are hundreds and hundreds of plants, lights, lamps. Yeah, there's lots of kind of clutter in this build, which I am kind of here for, actually. I think it kind of actually really works as that really kind of funky kind of vibe that I'm going for into here. So as I said, you've got a floor lamp right next to that. You've also got a candle on the top there. Why? Is that safe? Probably not, but you know what? We're going to go for it. Into there. So that's kind of the living area partially done, I guess we can say. We do jump back to sort of finish off a little bit in there because it's a little bit bland and a little bit more empty than what I really wanted. I wanted an island in here, the kitchen, just those 4 counters would have been a little bit small. So I've kind of placed a small little island with the sink on it as well. As you can see, we've got these huge big picture windows in here. Now, I did not change the windows from this. I know you can now, but honestly, I thought from the outside, it doesn't quite look right when you do that. And these apartments have been around for a really long time. You know what they're supposed to look like, so I just thought, well, let's just roll with that. Kind of keeping in with the colourful theme, we've gone for white cabinets, but green, white counters and green cabinets up there in a pink kitchen. But do you know what? It works. And I had fun with this in the terms of different colour combinations, different kind of ideas, different items that I would never use. And that's something I said last time, that when I did the modern beach house, that I'm using items that I would never normally use. And I feel like we've kind of done it again here with this one. Like, these are not my go-to. Obviously, we're now in the kitchen and we're cluttering it, so these are. But, you know what I mean? Like, I would never normally mix and match these counters together. Like, it just doesn't really work, but it totally does work. And I'm here for it. So, yeah, that's, where we're at. And I've actually just showed you the whole of the kitchen being done, including finding all of the millions of pieces of clutter. Well, not too much. It's quite a small kitchen in here as well. But, yeah, I had fun kind of doing this apartment, and it was a very quick kind of build. I think I managed to do this in like an hour and a half. So yeah, it is a little bit of a shorter video today. I think we're just pushing over 20 minutes, including like screenshots and stuff, which I kind of went a little bit mad with. So there are a few of those in there, but you know, this is me. Anyway, into there. I love this new pink fridge with like all of the magnets on it. I think that in that sort of next to the green wall, in the kind of pinky kind of kitchen, it just sort of really works within like the green kind of matching into the green wall and stuff like that. I don't think I have ever used that rug. I was kind of looking at it thinking, what do we have that could work there? And I pulled out a couple of rugs, and honestly they just didn't really fit, or they were just like too different from the vibe I was going for. And then I just came across that pink swatch and I was like, yes, into there. Right, we're going to change that out into their perfect huge big table. Looks good, right? Yeah. Absolutely impossible. I do manage to keep it, but we kind of end up, I think I placed 4 chairs when we do this. We eventually go down to 3, and I'm not sure if one of them is actually functional because of, like, it may clip in with the wall, which I don't think it's going to allow you to do if you were to sit there, but you know, it's one of those things into there. And now we're just going to kind of clutter this up with lots of bits and pieces in here. I hunted for that basket of blankets and cushions. You know, like when you know in your head what you want, but you can't find it. You can't imagine what pack it's from. You can't think. Yeah, I probably spent like 10 minutes hunting for that basket. It's technically not a basket because I searched for that. It's not tagged. Anyhow, side note there. This is now the dining area kind of nook in here. Now, as I said, it's tight. You're probably not going to use the 2 end chairs because it's just really not functional in there. And I placed a laptop on one of them in here. So, yeah. We do kind of have to smoosh this around a little bit, especially when I get like curtains and plants in. And I'm trying to find another plant here, a really nice tall one, and settle on this one. The lighting for that is still really weird. I did think they were going to fix that, but you know, turns out they hadn't. Yeah, especially when we're saying that this build, the lighting is very off anyway, then that plant should be like really brightly lit. It wasn't, but anyway. That's just a little side note for you into there. And now we're going to work on curtains in here. We basically have like 2 full walls of windows. And so I figured a nice sort of sunshade in here. That just made it feel a little bit dark. So was going to go for those ones and then realised we have these kind of like sheer curtains that kind of come through. And I feel like that has some impact on like the sunlight coming through. I feel like maybe they don't ever close the curtains, but also it means that I hid some of the walls in there with those sorts of pieces, and yeah, we kind of get away with that. So as you can see, 1 chair has gone, and then we get in a little bar stool. Now this is completely doesn't work. The cabinet or island counter I used there, it just doesn't accept a bar stool onto it, but yeah, I do manage to smoosh one in there as like a play pretend, kind of this is the only area we can kind of get one in for. And now we're going to jump over into the bedroom. Now I saw somebody else do this with, I think it was a teen's bedroom, and I thought, you know what, that kind of actually really works. So that's why I went. The beds were a little bit too high for what I really wanted, but yeah, kind of smoosh that in there. I could have done this as a kind of like in the middle of the room, kind of bedside tables on both sides, but honestly I actually really like the fact that it's kind of smooshed into the corner here. It gives the room quite a bit more space, not as much space as I kind of wanted, I'm gonna be honest with you, because I tried to put a desk and chair in here. I then forgot that I had put a laptop in the kitchen or in the dining room, so we kind of get rid of that. But I kind of thought that this was maybe a student apartment. Maybe they're like close to the university. Maybe they're like working part-time, kind of at university part-time, something kind of along those lines. When I was sort of imagining who would go in here, and I think a very fun, very bright, very colourful, kind of in their clothing, in their bubbly kind of personality, is somebody who would kind of go into here. That's sort of what I was thinking. Now, we did have to kind of smoosh some of those up and get the plant on the top, but I love that kind of colour with the flowers on it, and then with like the strawberry wallpaper behind it. Nothing kind of matches, and yet it still really works. Like, I purposely chose things that don't match so that they work. This is me who has like colour schemes. this apartment would drive me mental living in it, but actually I quite like it for this sim in here. So we're now getting kind of blues, reds, turquoises on this side, but you know, I'm there for it. More sort of shelving units and stuff. We don't actually, I think we keep the heart-shaped shelf, if that's technically what it's called, like with a keychain and a handbag, but we lose the other one because there just wasn't space, and it sticks out so far from the wall. Here's the desk I was going to use, and I thought, yeah, we've got space. Then I put a chair, and look, you're not going to get into the bed at this rate. So yeah, that went, and I do believe we actually end up with an easel in here. You'll sort of see, I'm kind of like, yeah, it doesn't work. Settle on that and then go down to get the easel and a few other bits and pieces, like a little guitar in there. I just thought maybe they're studying music, maybe they're very bad at music, but they're trying, and that's why they're like a noisy neighbour, because they're playing guitar at like all hours of the day. That's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe after a long shift or something, they just kind of want to jam out. That's what I'm thinking, but I'm thinking they're doing it very, very badly and not being considerate of their neighbours into there. Anyway, we've got the easel in, we've got a few other little bits and pieces, and headphones, she doesn't use those, and also a stack of books, and this little oscillate in here I absolutely love. And so yeah, we managed to get that in, and then just a few little bits of clutter to go on the top, because you know what, why not indeed, into there. And yeah, we get some postcards. I don't know some of these places. I should do, because I did play The Sims 3, but you know, it was a long time ago now. And yeah, now this is the bathroom. I'm showing you a bathroom. How did that ever happen? Anyway, it's been a long time into here. It's quite straightforward and simple. At first we just pull out lots of different things with different colours, and then settle on white, because usually you find a white bathroom suite. That's, I imagine in my head that this is like a rented apartment, so like your bathroom comes pre-done for you, as well as some of your kitchen, so you don't get to like pick the colour scheme in here. But I feel like maybe these are stick-on tiles that kind of go over the top to make it look colourful, because this is very in keeping with the sort of build that we've got here, but maybe not so with the original apartment. That's kind of what I was thinking in my head. And now we are pretty much done in terms of this sort of bathroom. We do pull out a few of these open sort of shelving units here and place a few items of clutter, just because I needed it, one, a little bit more, but two, I just needed some more colour and some more items. As I said earlier, this is a very tall walls in this apartment, and I figured we needed lots of sort of height coming in with our items. So yeah, just a little bit of a jewellery box in there, and also like a hairdryer and stuff that we also get in, which for some reason is not tagged in the bathroom category. But we are quickly coming up to the end of this video. If you had enjoyed it, then please give it a big thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my channel. It would mean so very, very much to me. You can also follow me on all social medias. The links to those are down in my link tree. But until next time, stay happy and stay burning, everyone. Bye!